Good morning and welcome back to Almus Market Mornings. Yesterday's interview by US Trade Representative Greer with Bloomberg gave some interesting insights. First, the tariffs currently set at 10% under Section 122 will be raised to 15% soon using a new proclamation. Of course, even he did not seem clear on how countries with trade deals will be accommodated, but overall, the strategy seems to be to do trade investigations and impose a more permanent set of tariffs, since the current tariff under Section 122 will be due for congressional approval post 150 days. Moving back to markets, broadly currencies and commodities are trading in a range, but oil lost out a bit after OPEC Plus is considering an output hike in April. Morning, JK. Broadly calm markets. What are you closely watching for the next few days?
Good morning, Swaraj. Yeah, I think we are actually into the end of the month. So maybe next 2 days could see much more moves because normally the month end does see more flows and related moves as well. Yeah, but referring to what you mentioned about US trade representative statements, I think what he is also voicing is a hint of uncertainty going forward, and we don't know where the tariffs are going to eventually settle because US president being so keen on protectionism that he will find some ways to keep the tariffs higher. And because of this uncertainty, it is seen that India and US trade talks have stalled, and even Europe has stopped implementation of their deal with the US. Significantly, yesterday, even Donald Trump had tweeted that countries which have been ripping off USA for years, in his words, will be met with a much higher tariff and worse than what they just recently agreed to. So I think markets are cautious as far as tariffs are concerned. Uh, but so far, of course, it has not shown up so much in the inflation because the companies in US have absorb these tariffs, and if they increase further or going forward, whether they will continue to do that is what the market will be very closely watching out. Yes, there is some statement from Iranian side that the talks are progressing well, and they remain a bit positive about the outcome, but the statement from the US side is not so encouraging. And Marco Rubio has said that while Iran is not enriching uranium right now, they are trying to get the point to where they are ultimately going to do that. And the talks on Thursday, that is today, will be entirely focused on the nuclear program. Markets are a bit cautious. Should there be kind of agreement or understanding, we can see some sell off in gold, silver, and even crude, which has already seen some profit taking, but they remain still elevated, compared to a few weeks back. But I think definitely we have seen the gains being capped for the time being. More relevant to the market was the Nvidia results, which was closely focused on, and it has come out with better earnings. So I think markets in Asia have taken it positively, and we have seen some gains across the markets as well. Now, more specifically, what impacts the currencies? Japanese yields have again started to go up. And Prime Minister Takachi has reaffirmed her pro-stimulus stance with nomination of two, doves into the policy board, and this has actually weakened the yen, boosted the stocks, and also pushed up the long-term yields. At the same time, we have seen hawkish comments from one of the members, Mr. Takata, and also from Ueda, who said that BOJ will continue to raise rates, and and that Japan has to establish the fiscal credibility. So I think well, yen had tended to go towards 157. I think today morning in Asia it has retraced it towards 155.80. So I think tomorrow's Bank of Japan, rather the Japanese inflation number, will be very key. On where the Japanese yen moves from here. The other currency in focus for economy is on yuan, which has gained to a new high at 6.84 today in this cycle. And, we have seen 9 months of gains in yuan, which is now nearly 8% higher against the dollar, 15% higher against the INR. I know the whole of 2025 saw the INR losers against the yuan. So that could be something, a point where market can see some profit taking, or reassess whether the yuan will continue to gain against both the dollar and the INR, going forward as well. We have the GDP number, which will be published by India tomorrow. Expectation now going up to 8.1% once again, because India has weathered the various global challenges, and the high frequency indicators have been quite positive. Also to note that India's GDP to be published tomorrow will be based on a new series with the base year at 2024, and the components and weightages and the methodology of calculations have all been rationalized now to fall in line with the recent the current pattern of consumption and investments. So I think it will be interesting to see how the GDP comes about. In fact, the recent CPI announced was also with a new base year, and components of CPI were revised in line with the current state of consumption. That's a focus as far as INR is concerned. Overall, dollar seen a bit weakening against the euro, GBP, even the Australian dollar, which has gained again once again on the back of higher inflation numbers seen yesterday. I think dollar is still in a consolidation phase, so we're not seeing much gains sustained. At the same time, weakness also may be contained because of the positioning that we have seen quite a bit on the softer side, or the short side of the dollar. That's why I'm seeing still a continuation of the rangy scenario. But definitely, I'll be looking at what happens to the yen and also the yuan going forward. As far as INR is concerned, this month, interestingly, is the after 9 months of seeing fresh lows every month, the USD INR has not seen a new low this month. That's a significant development for technical watchers. So this month high has been below 91, and last month we had seen as almost near 92. And this could be something the market will take note of, because last time it happened in 2025 March, we had seen the USD INR fall by as much as 4.5%, from about 87.90 to 83.70 was what we have seen at that point of time. Two things that I would remind is INR is undervalued in RER terms by over 5% now. And more significantly, the INR is 15% weaker against Chinese yuan, having lost out to the Chinese currency for over a year. And I also looked at the chart that currently Chinese yuan against INR is at 13.27. Last time it was seen end of January, and from there we had seen a fall in the currency pair, that is Chinese yuan against INR, fell by about 2.5%. So we are at a very interesting stage as far as USD INR is concerned. There is no major, of course, shorting action that is seen in the market, except FI flows turning positive. But whether these technical developments and the level at which China is trading relative to other currencies will see some fall in the pair is something that I will be looking ahead to. And technically, break and staying below 90.40 can pave the way for test of 90 or slightly lower than that in the coming month. Thank you.
Thank you, JK. And yeah, broadly, risk sentiment today seems to be a bit more positive. Nvidia results have come out with earnings better than expectations. Asian markets generally trading with good risk on sentiment. Though Japanese yields have started going higher, there is a bit of a fiscal concern because PM Takaichi has nominated two doves into the policy board. Uh, so that entire narrative we are tracking, and that's playing out. Other than that, Chinese yuan is something to watch out for. It has made a new cycle high against the dollar at 6.84, and that's significant. We are seeing a lot of strength in the yuan these days, but broadly, globally, dollar remains in a consolidation. Rupee, as of now, also remains consolidating at the higher end of the range. But that was an interesting stat which JK mentioned. After 9 months of seeing fresh lows every month, this month has not been a new low. That's it from us today. Thanks for listening. We will catch up tomorrow with the fresh round of updates.